And I'm going to give the entire game as I see it. We are not obliged to self-identify as the state's property. What do I mean? As the Social Security account. What do I mean? As the birth certificate document. If we have this connection to this state-owned name, yes, we were granted that name by our parents. That really ends up being hearsay, and I can't prove that to be true with first-hand perfected knowledge. But what I do know is I was made in the image of my creator, and therefore I have creative capacity. So I am a creator, which means if I want to identify as Schnoggle Fritz, that's true. I am Schnoggle Fritz if I say that I am that. And I would love for anybody to go ahead and try to prove that I am not Schnoggle Fritz, or whatever name you want to put. But if it is somebody else's registered trademark or copyright, well, then that begins to be fraud, right? So I can't say I'm Pee Wee Herman. I don't know of anybody else saying they're Schnoggle Fritz, because I haven't looked up the trademarks and if that's reserved or not, but you get what I'm saying. And I used to get upset because I found a land deed in my dead father's name from 2005 to 2017. He died in 2003. So I was like, well, why is this state defrauding my father? Well, that's because it's their property and they weren't defrauding my father. I just knew my father by that name, right? He just never came up with a Schnoggle Fritz of his own, right? And he never came out of the public trust, created his own private trust, got an EIN number for it, and maybe he wanted to take that extra step and find somebody outside of Canada, United States, Virgin Islands, or the United States territories extensions, and have that be the trustee, and therefore have a trust that does not pass the U.S. court and control tests, and then creating subsidiary trusts from that point, fully coming out of Babylon's control structures. Schnoggle Fritz. Well, they're just going to say that you're making up and leverage some kind of identification document that bears your image. Well, I'll say this in response. When I signed up for ID.me website to lock the social security number, freeze it, or whatever you want to say, but also to signal to the world at large that I am not a United States citizen, but I am eligible for employment in this country, the United States. When I did all of that, they require that you put the identification document in front of your face, because you're not making an account for ourselves. We're making an account for their property, which is the identification document, which isn't us. It's a piece of plastic. It's a booklet. You get what I'm saying? So that is what they are expecting us to be, the authorized representative of something that they created. And then they abuse and mislead and suggestively program us to have an emotional attachment to such a document, right? The identification card, the birth certificate, the social security number, the social security card, the social security account. They get us to have that emotional attachment and self-identify with our own speaking words, saying, that is me. I am that. That name is me, right? Nobody forced us to do it. They only just played our emotions through fear, disappointment, other emotions, even love, right? They get us to love that name. What I'm saying is, if we truly wanted to come out of her, the public trust that's based on prostitution commerce, if you think about it, all jobs are a form of prostitution, selling your body for money, and it's not even real money. If that is an annoyance to you, what we can do is create our own private trust and come out of the public trust, this unum sanctum trust, and begin to handle our affairs competently as adults, as we were always supposed to be doing. And we can stop identifying as something that they control and instead begin identifying as something that we created and we control. And this is the idea of the name change of Jacob turning into Israel. So if you're looking at my Facebook and wondering why does he call himself Israel unregistered, it's a signal. It not only serves as my own name change, I've wrestled with God and man and come out on the other side and have won. And I earn that name every single day, thank you very much. So it's not paying homage to some fraudulent geopolitical banker, satanic coven, synagogue of Satan thing. It's me being exactly like Jacob, wrestling God in the desert and winning, okay? I wrestle for that name. I earn that name every single day. And then unregistered. Well, put 2 and 2 together or rewatch this video. Anyhow, that is what I got for you. I hope that was effective. Baruch Yahuwah, unto you.